The opposition, in fact, has found the much-needed opportunity to lash out at the government now that Ratan Tata has come out and openly criticized it. While some like Congress MP and industrialist Naveen Jindal refused to comment, others have come forward and responded.
What Ratan Tata has said is true, because what guarantee any investor will look for? It will look for a policy continuation, a strategic continuation, and more than that, a secured environment and a good governance. Unfortunately, UPA did not present any of the three.
नहीं, जिस तरह सरकार काम कर रही है, इसलिए इन्वेस्टमेंट के माहौल को तो सरकार ने खराब कर ही दिया है। इसलिए ये सही है कि उद्योगपतियों को बहुत सारी दिक्कतों का सामना करना पड़ रहा है, क्योंकि सरकार नाम की कोई चीज नहीं है।
रतन टाटा ने भी सवाल खड़ा किए हैं कि
देखिए मैंने वो स्टेटमेंट आज खाली हेडलाइन देखी है उनकी, मैंने पढ़ी नहीं है, तो आज ये कार रैली के ऊपर ही मैं समझता हूँ आप इसको रखें तो अच्छा रहेगा। थैंक यू।
All right, let's get in more from Kartikeya Sharma, who joins us with more details coming forward on these rather explosive statements that have been made by Ratan Tata in an interview to a national daily. Kartikeya, just talk us through the details. Obviously, the perfect opportunity for the BJP, for the opposition to jump in, but not a pretty confident picture as far as the big industrialists of the country are concerned. Something like this coming forward from a man like Ratan Tata obviously does no wonders for the government.
You don't discuss what Ratan Tata says, but it also doesn't mean that the government is unaware of the problems it's facing. Nida, the issue is that it took government roughly 6 months to ensure that they are on their feet in parliament with alliance partners who are on the same page when it comes to critical reform issues, and ensuring that the government doesn't get destabilized, because no one can initiate reforms if they're not in power. It took government more than 6 months to do it, and I would say that in the next 1 week or so, we'll have FDI legislations in apart from retail in power, in insurance, and in pension being passed in parliament. So yes, there was a problem with investor sentiment even at the Arctic Conclave. Nitish Kumar made this point, the Chief Minister of Bihar. But the point is that government has initiated to reverse these sentiments now. The question is whether it's too late or not. I wouldn't say that the government is not doing enough, but I would say that the time the government has chosen, is it too late or not? Because they have kick-started the reform actions. But the issue is, will it bear fruits for them in terms of electoral dividends?
Well, at this stage, is it going to be enough? That's the question that Kartikeya Sharma is positioning on the story we're breaking to you right now. Let's also get in Javed Ansari, our political editor, who's now on the phone line with us. Javed, how much does it take away from the government for a man like Ratan Tata to come out and say this about the growth picture of the story?
Well, it must be a tad disappointing for the government, especially coming in the backdrop of recent events where the government has gone out on a limb trying to push FDI and take some harsh, unpalatable economic measures purely with a view to trying to up the growth story in the country. So therefore, this voice coming from Mr. Ratan Tata, one of India's most highly respected in the corporate barons, it must be a tad disappointing. They would have wished that Mr. Tata would have been more complimentary, because they can do with all the positives that they can at this moment in time.
Javed, that's the thing. As far as the government is concerned, we've seen that entire controversy that erupted on FDI. All right, it's going to get through. But give us a sense of this. When you have a man like Ratan Tata come out and make a statement like this, it's understandable that the opposition is obviously going to jump in, make the most of this opportunity. But the point that Kartikeya was making as well, the kind of reforms that we're seeing coming forward from the government, 2014 just around the corner, is this even going to be enough to address the concerns that have been raised by Ratan Tata, Javed?
Look, the government can only do what it can do. It's for others to make up the mind. Having said that, it's not just a reflection on the government. He says that he's very worried. And he made the point that the investors are worried that whether there will be continuity of policy or not. And this also reflects on the fractious nature of Indian politics, especially where the opposition is concerned. If you start, if the country is so vertically split, so starkly divided on issues on which it ought not to be, purely for political reasons if you are divided, then it creates a huge doubt in the minds of the investors. And perhaps that is also something that Mr. Tata must have had in mind when he said what he did.
All right, Javed Ansari, many thanks for deconstructing these statements that we're picking up from Ratan Tata concerned. Many thanks also to Kartikeya Sharma for joining us with more details on this story.